San Francisco has its challenges, from crime to homelessness to high rent. There are a lot of issues to unpack. But new research shows one group is criticizing the city a lot less and praising it a lot more. We're talking about Generation Z. Our media partners at the SF Standard have published a new study on this. It explains why residents born between 1997 and 2012, so people between 10 and 25 years old, love the city by the bay. Joining us live now to talk about this is the Standard's data editor, Tong. Hi, Anna. Nice to have you on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so the headline is Gen Z loves San Francisco. How do you figure this? What numbers are we looking at here?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of studies on this. So in our own internal poll that we conducted a few months ago, Gen Z was the happiest segment of folks that were in SF. And then today, Glassdoor, which is the super popular site where employees can rate their employers, they just released a study internally where they found that SF was the biggest, the city with the most happy Gen Zers of large cities.
All large cities in America, they looked at, the largest number of happy Gen Zers. So what is it about the city? What do they love about it?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it has to do with the types of jobs that are available in San Francisco. So if you're a Gen Zer, you're under 25, so you're likely to have an entry-level job. And a lot of the jobs in SF are tech jobs. And so what that means is tech companies are really focused on employee happiness. And unlike New York or maybe LA, where you'd be someone's assistant or you'd be working in finance, those jobs, you might have to work a lot longer, and so you'd be unhappier. And then secondly, Gen Zers, they're loving just the vibe of San Francisco. So you can be outside all the time and you can do activities that are cheaper. So instead of having to go to an expensive bar in New York, you can hang out in the park with your friends in San Francisco and it's totally free. And also, it's really expensive to live in San Francisco, but Gen Zers don't mind that. They've been cooped up at home in the suburbs with their parents for a couple years. So they want to, live with 10 other people in, dorm-like quarters. They actually want that.
Interesting. So some of the things that will make older people, maybe, I don't know, well, certainly boomers, but also like Gen X or millennials cringe, Gen Z actually, they don't mind it, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Okay. We actually have some pictures of happy Gen Zers, I think, that you sent us as part of your article here. And they do look like they're enjoying the city. I think this is where you talk about the vibe part, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of active-looking young people enjoying the great outdoors with their puppies.
Exactly.
All right, so what else about the San Francisco lifestyle is appealing to this group in the survey?
Yeah, so apart from the jobs, they're really happy with their jobs, and they really like that SF is a very progressive city. So Gen Zers value things like diversity, they value social justice initiatives, and so a lot of the companies here are really into that. So that appeals to a lot of Gen Zers. They love the weather, they love the openness, the green spaces, in combination with the dense urban city life, so they can really easily meet other young people.
Okay, now we know why they love it, but why is this such welcome news for the city, that this demographic group is so into the city?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, SF, as we all know, has a kind of a PR problem right now. It's all over national, international news, our issues with homelessness, with crime, the conditions of the streets, whatever. So I think it's really good news that young people, and young people are the trendsetters, are really wanting to come to SF and are really embracing the SF lifestyle.
Okay, in those same surveys, I'm not sure if it's your internal or the Glassdoor ones, were there hints, suggestions, or things that might be simple changes that can be made to appeal to the other generations too, who may be less happy?
That's a really good question. I didn't see that, but I think, stuff like building more housing is a really common one. I mean, people that are older don't tend to want to live with 10 other roommates. So if you can bring down the cost of housing so people can live here more affordably, that would be really important. And then obviously, increasing making the streets cleaner, making it a more walkable city, better public transit, that kind of thing.
All right, interesting. Well, really appreciate this conversation. We have about 20 seconds left, so real quickly, I just want to ask you, I'm sure you have some Gen Zers working at the Standard. Do they tend to say the same things?
They totally do. They are loving San Francisco. They're out with their friends all the time in the parks. They think San Francisco is a clean place to live. They don't have like the same complaints that some older people do.
So interesting.
Yeah, they love
Anna,
coming into the office. Yep.
I just want to let our viewers know this was not a segment brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce. You guys did the polls, and that was the finding, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. By the way, folks, you can check out more of the San Francisco Standard's other original reporting on sfstandard.com. ABC7 will continue to bring you more segments featuring their city-focused journalism.